Welcome back. Ryan here, coming to you with a brand new live, and much thanks to the folks who turned up and show me love and like and subscribe. I really appreciate you taking the effort, the time and the effort out um, to like and to subscribe to my page. So appreciate y'all. Um, hey Christy, welcome. Good to see you. All right then, folks. So looking at the madness that's going on in the world today, we can start off right there. So we get to understand that the madman in Tel Aviv, they decided to go attack Qatar today, and they were looking to assassinate the Hamas leaders. These are the guys who are the negotiators, and they were about to negotiate because they need some peace in Palestine. I know, my God, those people over there in Palestine need a break. You know what I mean? But the madman, said, no break, no rest for these little Palestinians. So they should, attack the negotiators. Simply mean don't want no peace. That's what's going on here, right? And understand that Qatar or Qatar depends on how you pronounce that word. Um, Qatar is a U.S. ally, so they're supposed to be our our ally, our friend, our buddies. These are the guys that who will sacrifice almost anything for us. Absolute joke. So we gotta understand something here that I mean I think I've been saying this for a long time, but I more and more I'm hearing other people are saying it now. We don't have friends, meaning the United States of America. Flamingo, how is it going? You know, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate y'all stopping by, showing me some love. Thanks for y'all for stopping by, showing me some love. Don't forget, folks, to like and subscribe and push me out there into the YouTube algorithm. So I want to make more of these videos, and I want more of you to enjoy my entertainment. So I'm looking forward to entertain you guys. All right. So yes, the U.S. I mean the madmen in Tel Aviv. They attack Qatar today. I'm not sure what's that about because Qatar is our friend. So I mean that's what they told us. That's one of the regime that is friendly to the United States. I don't know if they are our friends or if they are just our vassal, people who we push around and tell what to do when we need to get things done. We order them around and say, hey, boy, go do that go do that where else, I will do something to you. I don't know. So God, that's why I look at it. I'm like, that's not how you treat your friend. You don't hurt your friend. You know what I mean? Me and you friends, and then as soon as you turn it back, I hit you with something. You're gonna look at me strange and be like, "No, I can't trust you. You can't be trusted, man. I gotta stay away from you, bro." So that's what they told us. So here we are looking at one more problem again because I think this is a pattern here where we keep on entering into we are on this adventure because when you say the Tel Aviv madman, he's like they're a part of the West. So the West is on this streak here where we do not know how to get ourselves out of this high that we are. We don't know how to get rid of the high that we are on, which is a war high. So we have been attacking people since the universe knows how long, and we are still on that trajectory, on that journey. Because I don't know, for some, we like to go out and just attack. people and get rid of them, because I guess it's our job to eliminate people, to wipe them off from the face of the earth. These people shouldn't be here. And so it's our job to get rid of people. I am not sure who gives us that job, but hey, that's it. That's the job we have. So here we go. Now we're on this high right now, and we're not afraid to attack anybody. We can attack anybody anytime we want. We don't care about the loss of lives. We are not sensitive in any way, shape, or form to the loss of lives. Welcome, y'all. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. So don't forget. So looking at what's going on here, folks, we know in the West we have become so untouchable, where we don't care anymore. We can anytime we want, and we have no shame, and there is no feeling whatsoever. You know what I mean? Yep, Kissinger said that, and he was right. Yep. So people think that we are their friends, and the smart people who live here in the States understand that we just don't have friends. And if you read our history, you will see for your own self that every time we make any deals and any treaties with anybody, we always go back on it. And that's what we are doing. So that's what we are doing here. All the treaties we made we made with the natives, when all of that. Mr. Red Eagle, no, actually, I'm gonna want that land over there. But bro, hey, Tom, you told me that. Well, asking, you write it down in written letters, written word, printed word, saying that I'm gonna have this piece of land here, and you will have that piece of land. No, 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 Mr. Red Eagle. That's not how it goes, man. You need to leave this land, or else I'm going to have to remove you by force. All right. And when they fight back, then we call them savages. And so what? So that's what's going on over there. Who is that? Who are you? So this is what so this is just how we are, folks, and people don't want to see the reality of our nature, and that's just how we roll until they can understand that. They are here. I'm sure those people in Qatar right now sitting down probably thinking, what the hell is going on? What the heck are you talking about, dude? I am sure these people in Qatar right now probably sitting down thinking, are we really friends with the West, or we can just be wiped off anytime? Anytime these guys please feel please, they can just come wipe, just come kill us, because that's what's going. So I think that probably might be the warning. Like, if you little Qataris don't stay in line and obey the West, this is what is going to happen to you. So that's what I believe. They were trying to make a point there. I'm not sure if if the Qataris heard them, but I hope they do, because it's about time that they learn some sense too, because they are acting like they don't understand that after a while we will get rid of our friends. We did it over there in Egypt with Mubarak. He serves us for over 30 years, and then in the Arab Spring we got rid of him. We just you know start something called the Arab Spring, and he was overthrown, and then they put one guy there, and he wasn't suitable to the West, and they said, all right, let's remove him and let's put this guy here. General CC. Now he's there, and he is not. I don't think he is for the Egyptian people at all, because he's not doing anything to help them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So useful idiots. That's what they are. Yeah. So that was one thing that happened today in the world. You know, and we're looking at, and I know we would like to hear some of the optimistic stories, and we must be more optimistic and so forth. But be honest with you, it's not that I am not optimistic. It's just that I'm not seeing where there is a pathway to, for us to get out of the quagmire that we are in. I'm not seeing a way out. It looks like we keep on getting further and further into this quagmire, this mess. I think Venezuela might be surrounded by U.S. warships right now. That doesn't sound peaceful at all. We still have the mess in Ukraine. There is going on. That's not going to change anytime soon. That's not gonna change in Ukraine. That's gonna have to be end on the battlefield. That's what's gonna happen there, right? So we will see what's gonna happen over there in Venezuela. Are they going to invade Venezuela? I don't think it's a smart move. I think it's stupid, and it also going to cause another international outcry, international outrage, because people are not, I'm not sure if everybody are going to sit down and watch this happen and just say, well, um yeah, thank God it's not us. I don't know if that's gonna happen, because it look more and more here like people are getting sick and tired, and they are coming together. And at some point, I'm wondering if all these militaries are going to come together and say, you know what, screw it. Might as well we just have a fight with the big bad bull, the USA, or big bad bully. Let's just go head to head, neck to neck with them. I don't know. We will see. But I believe that's what is going to happen at some point. They're gonna be like at least 4 or 5 countries are gonna come together, and they're just going to have a war, a serious war, because I believe that's probably the only way this is going to, this is going to stop, is by just having this one massive war. Fingers crossed, though, that it doesn't turn into a nuclear holocaust, because some people are crazy enough to do that. You better believe that. All right. So don't believe that they won't, don't believe that they won't use these weapons that they intentionally manufactured. Why you think they why you think they make all these weapons? Just to put them down there, and for some uh, um, um, benevolent purposes. I don't believe so. It's more like some benevolent purposes. That's why they put him there. All right. So here we are, folks, at a crossroad here, where we are trying to see how can we get out of this mess here. The way out. I'm looking for the. Yep. Exactly. So we are not on defense anymore. We don't. When have we ever been on the defense? Yep, and that's true. Honesty, so we can know who they are. But there's a Department of Defense. That was a name. When have we ever been on the defense? We haven't been on the defense since 1947. I don't think ever in the history we have ever been on defense. We have always been on the offense. So Department of War, of course, make more wars. I don't see them. I think the war with Iran and Israel, I think that has changed the trajectory of how war is going to fight in the future. That's my belief. So you can have your Air Force all you want. Just understand that the guy is going to respond to you with his arsenal of hypersonic missiles. I believe that's where it's going. That's the reason why they haven't attacked Iran again. And don't get don't feel so optimistic that will never happen again. I don't believe so. I believe at some point they might try that decapitation strategy again. It doesn't mean it's going to end um, smooth, because it was, it got pretty rough in the few last days of the war. The last 3 days or so of the war, it got pretty rough for the regime in Tel Aviv, the Tel Aviv regime, and they were just freaking out, panicking. The madmen over there didn't know what to do, and they were like, "Hey, can you tell those boys in Iran to calm down with these missiles? They are like striking us really hard, so we probably need to put an end to this war. Stop it. Can you get them to stop?" And I believe it was Qatar who they called to mediate. They were the mediator between the West and Iran. And look who they strike. Qatar. So it tells you, despite the fact that you might help these guys out at some point, because I think Qatar was the only one who could actually, um, talk to the Iranians. I believe so. I don't think the Saudis could, because that relationship is not that good. I'm not sure if the Emiratis, UAE, those guys down there, I don't believe that they probably could pull that off. I don't believe that was gonna work. So Qatar was probably the only ones. I think they are like the closest one to the Iranians. Not that close, but they are the closest. So they were the ones who could pull off that and make that phone call and let the Iranians know that those boys over there in Tel Aviv are crying because they are getting a bloody nose from making that stupid move to attack the Iranians and believe that they could take them out. And they tried. They just weren't successful at all. All right. So that's it, folks. That's where most of our money is spent. Is spent. Just look at geopolitics and you can see where our money goes. It goes into attacking other people. All right. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. So this whole thing here, I've been looking at it for a good little while too, and that's what I believe too. I believe it's a joke as well. you know, it's all these allies that we have, and these relationships that we have with all these people, and I think by now I'm pretty sure the Saudis are over there. I think the Saudis are trembling at somehow. That might be a message to them as well, because they are getting close to the Chinese as well, because they sell a lot of their oil to China as well. You know, so that is another problem again. For the West, seeing some of their allies are moving over to the Shanghai Cooperation and the BRICS, the Shanghai Security Cooperation. So they are seeing some of their allies moving over to the SCO, Shanghai Security Cooperation, and they are doing business with them as well. And so who knows? This might be a message to the UAE and the Saudis as well. Like, hey, don't be fooled. You guys are not safe. We can attack you guys anytime. Uh, well, that's what they have been saying that for a long time, and people believe it's a joke. They attacked Syria here. I think yesterday they attacked Syria. I believe it was yesterday. It was an attack on Syria yesterday. So you look, so they attack Syria, attack Qatar, and they attack Palestine every single day, and they attack Lebanon on a regular right now. Lebanon get hit on a regular. So that's what we have going on here. Madman in plane in the air, dropping all types of bombs, and some of the bombs that these people are using, they're actually depleted uranium. And when they hit the ground, they actually penetrated the ground and they get into the water table. Hello, Teddy. And so when these depleted, of course, our tax dollar, that's who funding it. When we go to work and you look at your paycheck and you see the remote, your taxes being taken out. That's how they fund it. Well, I know some other ways how it's being funded too, but I'm not gonna say anything at all. I want my video to stay up here. uh, because I've been reading some other things as well too, and I'm looking at how criminal these people are, and they will go to any length, and they will cooperate with whoever they have to cooperate with, even the lowest of the low. Back in World War II, what's that guy? What's his name? The Italian, the mafia guy. He's supposed to be in prison, and they came up with a scheme. They said, let's get this guy here out of prison. Luciano, that's his name, Lucky Luciano, and they got him out of prison. This guy is a mafia thug, should be in prison. Um, they got him out of prison and they sent him back to Italy, and he was head of their operations over there. And what they sent him back there for, to, of course, the whole mafia underworld crookedness that was going on there, and he could help them to destroy the communists who were going to win in Italy anyway. The Socialist Party and the Communist Party, they were going to win the election in Italy. And boy, oh boy, these boys in Washington, they were like, we can't have that happen. We will work with the thugs, the criminals, the mafias, so that way we can keep these communists out of power. Unbelievable. So we will turn to anybody we can. In Back in World War II again, when they run Operation Paperclip, and they were sent, it's called Operation Sunshine. And they sent those Nazis down to South America, to bring joy to the world. All right. And they sent them down there and, to set up shop. And then shortly after, we start having all these coups, and these people are, South America and also Central America has become a mess since they sent these Nazis over there, because we would prefer to work with the Nazis than to share power with the communists, because that was what is going to have to happen. You're going to share power with the socialists and the communists. That's just how it was going to go down, because they were so strong and they were so powerful. And these boys were like, nope, we prefer to to carry out a war on them and eliminate them. So we like fascists over the communists. And you realize that it is the communists who always fight the fascists and defeat the fascists. It happens in China, it happens in Vietnam, it happens in Europe. It's always the communists who fight the fascists. Mr. Hitler, his fascist regime was put to an end by the Red Army in the old Soviet Union. You know what I mean? So we prefer to work with the fascists, the criminals, the thugs, the worst of the worst, scums. And we like those guys, yeah. But because they're not gonna teach you this in school. There's no way in their curriculum they are going to show you anything about these crazy operations that they run, so that way they can save people who they know should go to the gallows. Because these Nazis, a lot of them, they should be hung. You know, when they tried them at Nuremberg, they should be tried and hung there. And they knew that. And it was like, no, we can actually use these guys. They were like, no, we can use these guys to do what? What are you gonna use them for? Well, we can use them as a bulwark against the communists, because for some they are obsessed with getting rid of the communists. My God, you know, when you look at the history from 1940 47, well, I think it's back in the 1930s. I think when you go, you could see that back in the 1930s or in the 1920s, when they you know, from the long the you know the Bolshevik revolution in 1917. You know, that was a problem for them. And then over in China, the Long March with Mao Zedong and them, and they became successful from 1925 to 1949, I believe. That whole that whole movement continued on. So that was a lot of years for it, because it's very difficult to start a socialist or a communist country. Very hard to do. It's not easy, because you're gonna get fight from, from all angle. You're gonna have all types of men coming after you, trying to take you out because you are a communist, and they will spend as much money as they possibly can just to make sure that, the communists being wiped off from the face of the earth. Um, Indonesia was a clear example. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome back. Indonesia was a clear example when they decided to go over there and attack. And this guy Sukarno, he was not a communist. He was a nationalist, and he just wanted to keep his country away from the communists and away from from the capitalist madman, with their headquarters in Washington D.C. and New York and everywhere else. Thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And Wall Street and all those places. And he just went like, I just want to keep you guys out of here. Then we learn that Indonesia have one of the largest, gold reserves. What you call it? Our gold mine they have over there. But at the time, it was a hush hush because most people didn't know anything about it. But very few people in the U.S. government know about it. And then they wanted to remove Sukarno from power. And he wasn't a threat to them at all. He was part of the non-aligned movement, which they call the Third World Movement. So all they were like, okay, we don't want to be a part of the communists, and we don't want to be a part of the capitalists. We just want to develop ourselves, and we want, we'll trade with you guys and do business with y'all, but we just don't want to be a part of any of this mess. And they were like, oh no, he has to go. Let's get rid of this Sukarno guy here. And then the intelligence services over here, our wonderful intelligence service, the one that was created in 1947. We went over to Indonesia, and we look. We have list of names, and we gave it to always the military, which is nothing but an American death squad. That's what it is. They do this all over the world, where the military, you will see they come out and they will go after certain people, certain groups, and they will exterminate them. And that's what they did in Indonesia. They gave them lists of people's names. I'm like, my God, do you know these people? Do you have any beef with them? Do you know them? Do you know their family? Have you ever talked to them before? Do you have any type of relationship with them? Maybe that's why it is so easy to exterminate them, because you have no type of connection with them at all, and they have never made any effort to make any type of connection with these people. So we, use the death squad, the military, to wipe off those people, and that's what they did over there in Indonesia. And look at Indonesia today. Still, like, it's one of the poorest country around. It's called destabilize because that's it. That's what they got so good at this, at destabilizing country, and then they put sanction on them. So they destabilize the country, sanction, kill off kill off the people who would actually move the country forward. That's what they do. In Congo, same thing. They got rid of the Patrice Lumumba, and today, look at the Congo. It's just it's a mess. Kids, dead kids, laying down because they maybe got poisoned by the uranium from the mines, or maybe they don't have enough food, or war, or whatever the hell disease. Congo is a mess. So that's what we do, man. Yeah, exactly, because we need to have democracy every single where. And this is a question I have to ask. Does democracy works everywhere? I don't believe it does. Communism works well in China. Could that work here in the States? I am not so sure, because we are of a different mindset. In China, they are way more submissive to their kings and their rulers. That's just how those people are. They are way more submissive to their monarchical form of government. That's just how it is for those guys, and it's working very well for them. And we think that putting democracy in China will work. I'm gonna say it probably won't. All right, because democracy is just not for everybody. In Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, it is a military regime, a military junta that took over. The soldiers took over, and they are running a military regime over there. And we are telling them that, oh, you need to reinstate those democratically elected criminals that we put there. And they were like, it wasn't working. This, what we have right now, the military regime, that is working. They are growing food. They are mining their own golds. They are selling their own golds and uranium at their price. And they are free education. They are making those Tesla cars, or those cars, you know those UV cars. They are making those cars in Burkina Faso. They are also doing this also in Zimbabwe as well. So some of these African countries are moving. They are doing things a little bit different, and we are still screaming at them, telling them about democracy. And we're like, they don't need democracy. That's not what they want. They want food, water, shelter, housing, education, medicine. That's what they want. They don't need democracy. So the military junta, the military regime is working very well in those three countries right now. And it would be stupid to go install democracy in there. I don't believe it's going to work for those people, because now they are doing just fine underneath their military rulers, who are not trying to destroy their country. They are making, I watch them. They built like so much roads right now in Burkina Faso. They have never seen that many roads before. Burkina Faso has paid off all of their debt. They don't owe any money. That is a problem, because the IMF want you to be in debt. They want to control your central bank, and I believe I don't think Traore is gonna allow that to happen. He's gonna be making sure that the country is in control of their money supply and all that. So that's the reason why they are trying to assassinate him so many times. And then recently, here you hear Mr. Trump, oh, we're gonna go get that guy Traore and take him out. Not because he's doing anything wrong, but because they cannot get to run around and use those people in those three countries right now. Same thing, Niger paid off all their debt. They are like one of the fastest growing economy right now. I don't think these bastards over there in Wall Street and whatever other street they come from wants to hear any of that stuff. They don't. So it's about time people wake up and start paying attention to what's really going on around the world. There are some good things going on, and also, but at the same time, it's scary at the same time, because the West is losing ground, and they will do whatever they can to destroy the rest of the planet. All right, folks. That was a good little lecture from me here tonight, and thank every single one of you for stopping by. Yep, of course. So Rayan here with a new video, and I'm looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. Don't forget, folks, get in shape, run, open up those endorphins, and also educate yourself, and build a foundation, build it from the ground up. And for the most part, you will become successful, at whatever you are going after. Because once you have a strong body, a strong mind, I think you will able to move through whatever the challenges you are facing there. All right, folks. I will catch you soon in a brand new video. Bye for now. Have a good night. Bye, Christy. Talk to you soon.